Alright, in this video we have Law and Home Affairs Minister Mr. K Shanmugam interacting with 2 or 3 people who attended his Meet the People session and who were interested in discussing with him about POFMA, the Protection from Online Falsehoods and Manipulation Act. Basically, it's an act to prevent falsehoods, fake news. So the 3 people were agitated that someone recorded them halfway through the conversation. Initially, the conversation between them and the minister was reasonable and quite cordial. It only started getting heated up when the 2 ladies noticed somebody recording them. Anyway, relating to body language gestures, remember, we're not wanting to know what they said or what the Law and Home Affairs Minister K Shanmugam said, not his words, but mainly his actions and how he responded to being heckled, to being approached by people who are aggressive. So these are things that we can learn and apply in our everyday lives as well, because there are times where we are put in uncomfortable situations and we have to react accordingly. And of course, being cool, calm and collected, easier said than done, but with practice and more experience, you'll be able to have certain habits, certain techniques, and you get used to this over a period of time, and you'll make your life more comfortable when dealing with difficult and challenging situations. But overall, I'd like to say about Minister K Shanmugam's presentation in Parliament. Now, he's a top lawyer in Singapore and arguably maybe one of the top lawyers in the world. But certain gestures that he uses actually doesn't come across as very engaging, can come across as arrogant, unlikable, manipulative. For example, the one gesture that you should not use is looking through somebody with half-eye glasses. You look down with your reading glasses, looking at somebody, glasses tilt halfway down your nose, and you're speaking through the glasses. You come across as judgmental, scrutinizing the person, and what this does is it makes the other party feel very uncomfortable. And when they feel uncomfortable, they start to put in defensive gestures such as crossing their arms, putting your hands in their pockets, pointing, not making eye contact. And when you lose the other party, you lose the ability to strengthen your position in putting your points across more effectively. So the thing is, you want to come across as more open, engaging. You can have it both ways. You can be firm, but at the same time approachable. How do you do that? I spoke about this in other videos. You can have open palm gesture, firm, slow, calm voice, and always have that 2-second rule. You know what the 2-second rule in body language is? I did it there. To come across as more powerful, you pause before answering someone's question or inquiry, or just before you start speaking, have that 2-second pause. When you have a 2-second pause, you come across as more assured compared to when you are rushing your speech. Now, I had that problem when I first started my speaking career and in training. Started speaking too excited, speak too fast, you come across as nervous. You might not be nervous, but you come across as nervous. And when you come across as nervous, you tend to lose the audience a little bit. In terms of coming across as authoritative, you might come across as maybe, oh, this guy might not be too powerful in what he says, or might not be the authority that we thought he was. So be careful with speed, tone, volume, pitch. Now let's go through the video. What are some good things that coming back to this, I was speaking about Minister K Shanmugam's interaction in Parliament, like his speeches and his debates might not come across as likable due to his like eyeball to eyeball contact, firm contact, what you see here. Halfway down the nose, glasses. What you can do is you take off your glasses, converse with the other party, and then put them back on. That should be the way. So you don't want to come across as too judgmental, scrutinizing the other party. Give the other party a chance to interact comfortably. So you get, it's good for you, that means the interactor and also the other party. Good for you because you get what you want to hear from them. You see, you make them feel comfortable. You get the more accurate message from them, the words and the information. Now, he handled this situation very well. I'll highlight what are the key things that he did very well and what's the one thing that he could have improved. Let's have a look.
You're here alone or anybody else is here with you? I see. Nobody else around.
We have like friends taking care of our bags.
What are your names?
Sabrina.
Sabrina and Africa. We can talk about POFMA. You might have to wait because are you my residents? Where do you stay? You're not my residents.
Okay. The good thing about the interaction thus far is he uses open palm gesture. I always mention in almost every single body language gesture analysis and discussion, always use open palm gesture. You come across as likable, engaging, open-minded. It's a very good gesture to use. So he uses that, and eye contact friendly. He has that smile. Maybe not the genuine smile. I spoke about this more in the Taylor Swift analysis, where you can tell the real smile from the false smile, from the authoritative smile, to just a general Panem, or what they call, I like to call it, the plastic smile. You fake smile, from year to year, but you don't see the crow's feet. The crow's feet is the key to determining a real smile, a genuine open smile. So he has a smile there, but maybe it's a bit of a false. You don't see the crow's feet. If you look through very carefully at his facial expression, you don't see the crow's feet. But the good thing, he has the open palm gesture. He's facing them. The feet is open, slightly apart. Good thing about the feet. The feet, how do you place your feet? So you face the person that you're speaking at, obviously, but it's not so obvious. Sometimes when you look at people, when you're discussing with them something, there's a clue to telling where their interest lies by looking at their feet. Sometimes they're speaking at you, but then the feet points towards the door, the feet points towards someone else. That means they're not fully engaged with you. So take note of feet. A lot of body language experts, they have the facial features right, they have the upper body decoded, but they usually miss out on the feet. Very important. You can tell a lot about a person, and it's the most difficult thing to control. A lot of experts, a lot of speakers, they can control facial expressions very well. People who want to lie, they can control their hand gesture, they can control the upper body movement, but the most difficult thing to control is your feet. Usually it gives you away. Okay, if you're telling a lie or hiding something or already being uncomfortable, your feet will give you away. Let's have a look.
Discussion or you've come here to argue?
You're making it very difficult, aren't you?
I'm not making it difficult. I'm telling you, meet the people sessions, our rules, we see our residents in order to deal with their problems. You see all these people, they have problems. If there is a discussion on POFMA, is it being recorded?
Another good thing to take note of is his tone, volume, and pitch. One of the ladies, the volume is a bit louder, so you want to come across as firm but not overly aggressive. And one good way to do that is to have your volume a bit softer, slower pace, slower lower pitch than the person who you are interacting with. The moment you are higher than them, it shows that you might be losing control, and when you lose control, then you give the other party the power. So this is something that he did very well by maintaining his tone and volume. There's one part where he raises his voice a little bit to show firmness. Not a very good way to do it. Always good to still keep your cool and always maintain your cool, calm and confident tone, volume, pitch, especially the volume at first instance, because that's the thing that others notices first.
Recording anything? Thank you. If you want to discuss broader issues, we're always open for discussion, and I can give you a time because I don't want to delay my residents. And it's important that I deal with their issues. The whole idea of Meet the People session, we set the rules, is that residents come and see us. Because I'm a minister, people from other areas come to see me. We tell them that they should see their own MPs.
Okay, so far the interactions quite cordial, but there's a portion where someone was filming the two ladies and they started to get a bit aggressive. Let's forward it.
If there is time after that, go and see your own MP. Makes sense. Because each team, this is a public area, you have a right to record.
I have a right to record. Thank you so
I
much.
said to her, not to you. If you want to record, you tell me. And
Okay, somebody recorded and they started to get more aggressive, and Minister K Shanmugam is trying to defuse the situation by maintaining his volume, pitch and tone and open palm gesture. The one thing that he didn't do very well was there was a little bit of pointing. Pointing, it's one of the three gestures you should avoid. Number one, pointing. Number two, aggressive eye contact, eyeball to eyeball. Not very good. You come across as creepy and rude. You want to have eyeball to the third eye point, or after 3 to 5 seconds, look away and then look back. And number three, you don't want to have your hands either folded or in your pocket. So actually it's 4 gestures. The fifth one you avoid, of course, is you have your halfway glasses or whatever gesture you call it. Glasses coming down your nose, trickling down like it's going to fall, and looking at someone through that lens that way. Judging and scrutinizing the person. So these 5 gestures should be avoided. What to do instead, I've mentioned this in the other videos, and I shall mention it. Yes, right?
if you want to
Coming
record,
up.
You don't have the same rights, lah. You
no, that's not true.
You have rights.
That's not
and
true.
You don't have rights.
I asked you if you're recording.
Why are being recorded? What's the reason for that? Can you delete in front of me?
You don't have to answer. You go. If you want, you write in. If you, the residents here have come here, who shouted coward? Who else? There was somebody else. The residents have come here for their issues. You have come here to disrupt the Meet the People session. Let me finish.
Okay, this is the only part of the video where he raised his voice louder than the three of them. Said, let me finish. Because they were being rude and aggressive by shouting, coward. Okay, so he got agitated by that. Of course, is it good to show your agitation? Of course, no, because it hands power to other people. So whenever you're angry, it's always good to relax, take a deep breath, pause before you have your own reaction. So you don't react to the other people's aggression, but you have your own internal technique, your own internal style to deal with others. So the way in which you communicate can say a lot about how you manage your own feelings, especially of how you cope with feelings of anger, frustration, and all the other negative feelings. This is key because there will be times where you start to feel a bit stressed out, and the moment you start to feel angry, especially anger, this can damage you. Remember, you are not damaging the other party, you are damaging your own self. I experienced this throughout my life, early part of my life, you get angry, cortisol levels build up, and if this happens over a period of time, you're not harming the other people, but you're harming your own self. So it's always good to calm down, take preparations, have it in your mind about how you're going to deal with aggressive people, aggressive situations, so that when it really happens, you already have this blueprint of how you're going to deal with the matter. A lot of the times experts say, okay, you visualize the good stuff, but it's also good to visualize how you deal with situations. If people always mention maybe it's not a good thing to visualize negative stuff because it can be replayed over and over again. So you don't have to visualize it before you go to bed because it will be replayed over again. But visualize it maybe once in the afternoon or once maybe in the evening to get your mind accustomed to dealing with negative, challenging situation. Because as you know, not everything is a bed of roses. Life can be tough. You get to deal with some people who you really want to say some words that you can't say it out loud. You want to use certain words, certain gestures, but that's not the right way, because ultimately, remember, who does it harm? Us. They go on, life goes on for them. They might disturb others, but eventually it gets to us, it gets to you. And do you want that? No, right? So you want to come across as calm, relax, compose. This takes practice. Depending on how long you had aggression or your general behavior, the older you are, the more your habits have been ingrained, the longer or the more effort it might take to overcome your habits or to build up new habits. So, but it will be worth it. I built up my own habits, eliminated some destructive patterns, and it has helped me to be a better person. You can too, okay? Don't worry about it.
Look at them. They have real issues on the ground. Okay. So they have come, let me finish, then you can speak.
So that was good.
They have come.
That was really good. He mentioned, she interrupted him, and he mentioned, let me finish. Not a louder volume than her. Softer volume, let me finish, and then you can speak. Open palm gesture. But he did have a little bit of pointing, so that one can be improved, right? Not so good.
Here to talk about very serious matters. They have come here to talk to me about a variety of issues. You are coming here to disrupt and shout. Please don't shout here. Okay? And please behave with respect.
Yeah, that's a very good way to do it. He's firm, but yet he's not raising his voice. Please do not shout here. Please be respectful. So again, eye contact there. So the thing that he can improve, another thing he can improve is relating to eye contact, like what I mentioned. I spoke about this in greater detail in one of my other videos. You can look at that. Relating to eye contact, so you don't have eyeball to eyeball too long or too constant. Come across as aggressive, rude, condescending even. You want to come across as assertive, but yet approachable. But this way he's not, in certain parliamentary speeches as well, I noticed that because of his firmness, doesn't come across as very approachable. That can be improved. So you need to be a bit more, don't have to always smile. In fact, smiling too much also can put people off. You want to have a measured approach. Certain smiling, certain pauses, and just the right amount of eye contact relating to the timing and where you look at. Let's close up this video.
I have said to you, well, you can wait, but you're not my residents. I've told you, I will see the
minister.
Let me finish.
Was it respectful?
I will finish.
Us without our consent. Was it
Have you not
respectful?
recorded others without their consent? I know you have been going to 10 to 11 places to do the same thing. We know exactly what you have been doing.
This is
What you will do.
Okay, so we just close up right here, but closing address, he maintains his cool, calm composure, even though the ladies have started to become more aggressive in terms of their pitch. Notice they started to have a louder tone of voice, they speak a bit faster, and uses a bit more aggressive language, body language. I saw the lady who's back facing us. She had another gesture, like a bit agitated gesture, gesturing someone to move forward. I believe she's gesturing to the person who's recording to move forward to get a closer view. I'm not too sure about that, but he maintains his upright posture, confident posture. So that's good. So there you have it. Certain things that we can learn from this video in terms of composing ourselves and handling challenging situations, especially if you're like in customer service, you're basically just interacting with somebody, even in your personal lives as well. For example, you're interacting with your family members, your friends, you want to come across as friendly, approachable, but yet firm, so that you are someone who people do not bully or play around with. So there are gestures that you can use. If you're interested, look at my other videos, drop some comments. If you're interested to know a bit more about body language, drop me a message. If you have a suggestion or you have a request on a video you'd like me to analyze, please drop them in the comments as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.